But moving on, we do want to get to the interview with Marcus Ray, and as a lot of you know, Marcus was essentially he was a captain of the '98 team. But if you look back at that '97 defense, he really was the vocal leader of that defense, and really brought a lot of swagger to that position, and in particular that defense. So let's go ahead and go to our interview with Marcus Ray.
Hello.
Marcus.
How you doing, man? Man, I'm good, man. I'm just taking it slow, man. I like what you guys got going on.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a total grassroots kind of movement. We're kind of doing it all low key, and we haven't got any really resources behind us to grow it other than through kind of the social medias right now. So, but
that's a good place to start, though.
Yeah, I mean, just trying to follow in your footsteps with everything you got going on.
You're building an empire.
Yeah, you're like Jay-Z, dude.
Why you guys say?
You're writing books. You're writing songs.
I got a logo.
Everything you're doing is turned into gold.
Man, I'm hoping so. It's going pretty good so far, man. Just trying to build my brand a little bit, because you can't expect nobody to hand you anything. You got to take it, man.
No, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I've been kind of mixing it up since I took a break from coaching. Now I really, really wanted to get out here and recreate myself, so to speak, and not detach from the whole football thing and coaching, but to show that, there's a deeper side to me and a lot more creativity, man. There's just no limit to what can be done out here if you put your mind to it.
No, it's absolutely right. And, it's funny when, we were friends on Facebook when you were on the first time, and then you got off for a little while, I think because you were getting harassed a little bit. But I remember that was when you were coaching and just making that transition. And then the next thing I see from you, you write this book, Raise the Light. Can you talk a little bit about this book that you wrote?
Yeah, Rays of Light is an inspirational quote book, and there's a lot of play on words, idioms, similes, metaphors. I want to say homophones, maybe, or whatever it's called. But there's about 10 different categories, and I think there's something in there for everyone, and it's definitely age appropriate from, I would say, 13 until maybe 80, 75-year-old. I think a lot of people can relate, and the title of the book, Rays of Light, Volume 1, Let There Be Light, really was a play on words I used for my own last name. And, I think life is about being a part of something bigger than yourself. And I think as big as the sun is, we all need the sun to survive. And what I'm trying to do is just shed a little bit of light. And the whole concept of light, it represents growth. And I think when we go through things in life, every living organism needs darkness and it needs light at some point, one way or another, to survive and become whatever you're going to become. For example, when you're growing a plant in your house or in the windowsill, it needs to be watered and there needs to be some darkness. Then it spends some time in the light. And I think when we go through things in life, it is very comparable to when you face bad times, that's considered darkness. And then when you shed light on the situation, then there's growth. Every baby that's born starts in the womb, which is dark and wet and moist. Then when you grow, once you're delivered or once you're born, then you only grow once the sun hits you, once you're exposed to light. And that's the same concept in life. When we go through things, I learned a lot of lessons at Michigan and along the way, and I've been married before, different stuff. And man, I'll tell you, once you shed light on the situation, man, there's growth, and light is positive energy. So I think I've found a way to connect life's experiences to life's experiences, meaning if you drive down the highway of life the way you drive down the highway in life, there'll be less life accidents. I can look at a sandwich and tell you how to prevent a problem, or I can make sense of average everyday things, because I believe we're all drawing energy from one source. I mean, people call it God or whatever it is, whatever people refer to as their higher power. We're all drawing from the same source in different directions, and we're pulling and going in different directions, but we all get our energy from one source. And with that being said, there's one process to everything, and it's the same. You know, everything starts with thought. Whatever you do, before you even called me tonight, you thought about it. Mm-hmm. I thought about what I was going to say, or before I slapped this guy in the face, you know, I thought about, you know what, I'm going to punch this guy. So what about the guy that did it the telephone? You know, he wanted to talk to somebody that wasn't even there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything, and when they say, and it's not a religious book, they're like that, it's just a straight up, if you cut off my left side, I'll still be all right. If you cut off my right side, there'll still be some left. So what does that mean? Hey, you know, if something is taken from you, if something happens, it's all right. Give me a place to stand, like they say at Michigan. You know, pick up the pieces and keep moving. All is not lost. So it really, to sum it up, it's an inspirational quote book because I think it keeps people in the spirit of positive energy and hope.
You know, Marcus, one of the reasons I wanted to do this interview, or I was really excited, was, you know, we kind of follow everyone that we played with at Michigan and kind of check in on how they're doing. And, you know, I think your story is pretty unique in the fact that, you know, you played at Michigan, you were dominant there, you went to the NFL, you did that, and then, you know, here you are, you know, in the middle of your life, and you've recreated kind of who you are. And it's pretty incredible story. You know, you're not pumping gas at a gas station. You've kind of taken what God gave you, or you know, whatever your gifts and talents are, and you know, you're pretty motivated. You've got, you know, 2 books out. You know, you're building a brand. Can you talk a little bit about, you know, how you motivate yourself, I guess, on a daily basis to do that, or something of that nature?
Yeah, I think that being 35, I got tired of the world telling me no. And I don't think outside the box, because to me there's no box. I just think. You know, I think the fact that since I was probably 6, I've always went against the grain. That's how I even got to Michigan, in that my whole family, the whole state of Ohio loves Ohio State. And I said, well, I want to like the team that everyone else dislikes. I've just kind of been that kind of guy. And then sometimes it hasn't always worked in my favor, but that's who I am. And it got to the point where, you know, I coached 6 years of college football, 4 years of high school, and I kept knocking on the door, and they wouldn't let me in. So I decided they can stop me from coaching, but they can't stop me from eating. And God placed me here. I've been placed here for a lot of different reasons, I believe. I think I've been blessed with the gift of speech and being able to relate and talk to people. Well, just to communicate in general. And, you know, people, I really believe education, you know, there's nothing wrong with education, but the only problem I would have with it is that people go to school to get a job. They don't necessarily go to learn or cultivate or nurture their minds, bodies, and souls. They go through a system of training, and then they're trained to go work. But when there's no jobs in that arena, then you got to retrain. And what I think my hardships, meaning I got injured in the NFL, I didn't get a chance to play as long as I would have liked to. I realize there's a difference between a mistake and a poor choice. A mistake is when you accidentally drop a cup out of your hand, and a poor choice is when you drink and drive, just for example. So, you know, I think people classify everything as a mistake, and it's not. You know, it's when you turn left and you should have went right. That's a mistake. But